Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make a vegan gingerbread cookie. It has to sit for an hour, so it'll be two different separate portions of video, but let's get started. So, first we need to make a flax egg. And for those of you who have never made a flax egg before, it literally is just flax seeds and water. That's it. So you do 1 tablespoon of flax seeds. This is the brand that I buy. I keep these in the freezer. It keeps it fresh. So there's 1 tablespoon. Now I'm going to turn this on so we can get some warm water. These back in the freezer. Now we need 3 tablespoons of warm water, so it's always 1 to 3. And so it looks like this after you're done. We're going to let that sit and thicken, and we'll get started on the rest of it. So we are going to do our butter, which we need 1/2 cup, and of course all my cups are still put away, so give me 2 seconds. So we need 1/2 cup of butter. It says 1 stick on the recipe. I do not buy stick butter. I buy Base brand butter. We'll put that away in a second. But we're going to put this in here. And there's our butter. Well, you're obviously not on there, right? If you're not staying. There we go. So we need 1/2 cup of butter, we need 1/2 cup of coconut sugar, and I'm sure that you could probably use regular sugar if you don't have or don't want to use coconut sugar. I have it, so I'm going to use it. And then our next ingredient is blackstrap molasses. If you don't like the really strong taste of molasses, get the regular or just light molasses, and they're not, it won't be as strong for you. So we need 1/2 cup of this. I'm going to take that and pour that in there. I'm going to put that in there because I'm not using that now. There. And then our next ingredient is a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Now we need this, so we're just going to rinse it off. I don't know where my dish towel went, but apple cider vinegar. We only need 1 tablespoon. This is just for the acidity. There will be no taste of it by the time we're done. And then we need a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I like the taste of vanilla, so I'm just going to put what's left in here, because I obviously need to get more. So our flax egg has been sitting and it's actually gotten thick. So now it's ready to go in with this. Now we're gonna put this down and we're just gonna cream it together. So there's still chunks of butter. We're just gonna let that sit and mix for a minute. And we're gonna get the rest of the stuff ready. We need flour. And we need how much flour? 2 1/3 of flour. There we go. Awesome. That's all creamed together. And I'm gonna pop this back up so that we can add our other ingredients in. Now we need 2 1/3 cups of flour. There's 1. There's 2. And 1/3. And then we need 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda. Pumpkin, get out of the way. So we need 1 1/2. And there's 1. Cat hair on my container. And we're gonna get 1/2. Where's my 1/2? And there's 1 1/2. And then we're gonna do 1 1/4 of both cinnamon and ginger. So because my 1 doesn't fit in here, we're just gonna do 5 of these. And there's 5. And then we're gonna do 5 of the ginger as well. Actually, my spoon will fit in here. So there's 1. And 1/4. And then our last ingredient is 1/4 of sea salt. Now, I don't know if this is sea salt, but it's salt. So, then we're gonna put this down. And we're gonna get this mixed together. I'm just gonna do it on a low setting just so it can slowly combine. Now, obviously, if it's not thick enough, we're gonna have to add some more flour. Okay, we're gonna pop this up. And I'm just gonna drag all this stuff down. And we need some more flour in here because it is too wet. So we're just gonna take 1/3 cup. We're just gonna use a little bit. Now, let's see how it does. Needs a little bit more. And obviously, if you make these, it's go by off of your own tools, your own ingredients. Obviously, if you make them and they don't need flour after the first, don't add any more just because I am. There we go. Now that's what we want. So we're gonna pop this up and I'm gonna take this off. Ah! And we're just gonna scrape this off here. Yeah, this is a good consistency now. This is what we want. I really need to get spatulas that actually work. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get saran wrap, wherever my saran wrap went. And I'm just going to push this backwards so that we can we got to take the saran wrap and we want it to wrap our little parcel of gingerbread dough. This smells amazing. So we're gonna wrap this up and stick it in the fridge for an hour. That's what the recipe says. Again, go by off of your own instinct. Oh, an hour in the freezer, not the fridge, sorry. So I'm just gonna wrap this because mine is a little bit, this is cheap dollar store saran wrap, so just to make sure, let's give it a couple extra. I have gingerbread dough all over me. And we're just gonna wrap this up. And I'm gonna go stick it in the freezer. And then I'm gonna set a timer. Excuse me. And we're gonna go timer for 1 hour. Awesome. So I will be back in an hour when the dough is ready to come out. See you in a bit. So we are back and we're looking at about 6.5 minutes until the dough comes out. So what we're gonna do is we are going to make our icing. Now, I prefer to melt my butter. It doesn't say to do that, but I'm going to. You just melt it and just a little bit, just enough to soften it. And then you add in your icing sugar and your almond milk. I use almond milk. You don't have to use almond milk. Basically whatever kind of milk you want. So we're just gonna put 2 spoonfuls in there. And then we'll put it in the microwave. So I just did it for about 15 seconds, so we'll see how that is after. And then we've got our almond, milk and our icing sugar. Now for the icing sugar, we're just gonna add in a little bit at a time. It says a cup in the recipe, but we'll add, I'll probably do a spoonful at a time just until we get that right consistency. We're just gonna mix this up so it all melts. I don't want to use that spoon in my icing sugar. Okay. So I'm gonna do 4 spoonfuls now, and we'll mix it. This may work, we may have to start over, so we'll see how it goes here. Now, I have a feeling this is not going to work, so we're going to have to try again. Geez, there's cat hair in my sugar too. We'll just keep mixing and see how it goes. Okay, that's about a cup that I've added now. So I'm just gonna kind of smush and mix, if that makes sense. So this actually might work. So we're gonna take our almond milk and we're just gonna pour a little bit in. They say to do about a tablespoon at a time, I think. So you want it thick, but you want to be able to pipe it on. So what I'm going to do is just add a bit more milk. And I'm going to add a bit more sugar. The taste is good though, which is what we want. We don't want it to taste like butter. So just added about another 1/4 cup of sugar. Sugar all over me. Still needs a bit more sugar, it's still too thin. Perfect. Awesome. So now that that's done, we'll just move this out of the way. Check and see, we've got 22 seconds, so I'm gonna go and pull that dough out of the freezer. Clean up our little mess here so that we can work with the dough. And there we go, there's the timer. Icing sugar all over my phone. That's the way to do it. So we're just gonna move our icing out of the way. And there's our chilled dough. So I'm just gonna grab myself some water here real quick. And then I'll grab our baking sheet out. Okay, so we gotta set our oven for 350. I'm gonna grab our baking sheet out. And now the recipe says to use parchment paper. I do not have any. So we're just gonna do it with a baking spray. Then I'm gonna use my rolling pin. And we need some more flour. We've got our flour. So we're just gonna unwrap this. Having these nails is not helpful at all, but yeah, looks good. So just gonna move that off to the side there, and I'm just gonna dust this with flour. Now we're just going to put some dough on here, or some flour, I mean. We're going to put this on here, and I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to flip it, because we want it to have that extra Now mine seems to be falling apart, which is why I'm kneading it. And adding a bit of extra flour. I think it just needs that. Now we're just gonna roll this out. I'm gonna have to use a spatula, I think, to pull them off of the counter. Oh no, it's sticking to my rolling pin. My cookies are going to be probably a little thicker than what and I'm going to use my hands, obviously, because really they're my cookies. It's not a big deal if they don't. Now I'm doing mine with star or snowflake shapes simply because it's bigger and we're going to take our spatula and we're going to take this and flip it off my spatula. Now it doesn't look like a snowflake right now, but I have a feeling once it cooks they'll do better. Now I'm not going to do all of these into shapes. I'm probably going to do some of them just into like balls. But that's because it's not rolling like I want it to, and I don't know why. So I'll attempt whatever I can, and then after that I'll give up. Which is what I generally do when I'm making rolled cookies, because they never want to do what you want them to do. Roll this out. Now these are going to be misshapen, but put some more flour in there. This one's actually rolling out nicely now. Of course, right at the very end, once I'm ready to give up, it does it. So I'm gonna do one more snowflake, and then I think I'll just do the rest. Actually, I've got a little snowman actually too, so maybe I'll do those. Do the rest in snowman form. That rolled out. And we're gonna break that off. These smell amazing. My house is gonna smell so good now. Okay, there's the 6 snowflakes, and I'll show them to you in a minute. Let's get the rest of these. Actually, I've got a gingerbread man cutting board too, or cookie cutter. That's what they're called. So we're gonna do that. And I'll grab my gingerbread man. No. Do that. Oh no, I broke his arm. Now this one's going to be a little bit deformed. It looks like his head is broken, but it still looks like a gingerbread man. So I think I'm going to do 3 gingerbread men, and then I'm going to do the what's left here just into little cookie things. Whatever those are called. There we go. I'm just going to take a portion like that. Just do a little thumbprint in it. And then once they come out of the oven, I'll be able to put a little bit of icing in there. And then they're like a little thumbprint cookie. Now they only have to cook for between 8 and 10 minutes. But they say too, so you only want the edges to be a darker brown. So you want them to be crispy on the edges, but you still want them a little bit soft inside. simply because they will still keep cooking once you take them out of the oven. Now these balls will probably cook faster. Last one. I'm gonna stick it right here. Okay, now I'm just gonna wash my hands and then I'll show you what I've done. And then I have a mess to clean up. I got dough all under my fingernails. So I'm just gonna take you and show you what I've done here. So there's the gingerbread man. And there's the snowflakes. Now some of them are deformed, but I'm not too worried about it. Simply because they're gonna go in the oven and it's not that big of a deal. So we're gonna pop these in the oven. We're gonna set the timer for 8 minutes and then we'll go from there. And I will see you when they come out of the oven. I'm back. So the cookies are done. They have been sitting for about, I want to say about 15 minutes on the top of the stove. So I'm just gonna fill up my little piping bag here. And of course it doesn't want to fold. It's just got to be held, that's all. So I did have to add a little bit more icing sugar to this, but now it's perfect. So we're just going to put this in here. I might have to end up making some more, but at least for now, we've got some icing. Now my gingerbread man, the cookies rose or like expanded a lot more than I thought they would. So some of my gingerbread, well these two, kind of look like they've been hit in the face or hit in the head. But that's okay. And like these ones, I just want to put, oh, I did it wrong. I just want to put just a little bit of icing in there. I'm going to put a little bit in this one. And it's obviously it's going to harden and do all that. So I just want to put just a little. Just because they're more of a decoration kind of cookie. And like these ones, I'm just going to do faces and buttons. If they looked nicer, I would probably spend a little more time decorating them. But I don't like the way they look. So there's those ones done. Now the other ones are still on the cookie tray. But as you can see, they expanded quite a bit as well. So we're just gonna fill these in. This really big one is gonna be for my sister. She's gonna try them when she gets home, so. Now for the snowflakes, I think what I'm going to try and do is do a circle in the middle And then I'm gonna go like this. Obviously, I'm not a cookie decorator, so these are not going to be perfect. We're going to do a little. So I'm just going to add just a little decoration here. That's all. So I'll just do that on all of them, and I'm not going to do, oh no! Oh well. It's because I've got icing splooshing out the top here. There. Now again, we're going to do the lines. And I mean, snowflakes are not supposed to look the same anyways, so quite frankly, I think they look cooler if your cookies don't match completely. And of course, if you want really straight lines, you gotta press really hard. And for these ones, I think I'll do just the end of the triangle simply because I screwed up and smushed. No! I thought that would work better, but I guess not. Obviously my lineup of the triangle point is horrible. Obviously that looks like a spider's web, but I think it looks cool. Now this one I'm just gonna do some dots. And then so I'm just going to empty out what's left in here. I'm going to throw this in the sink. And then I have some of these Coca-Cola balls. So I'm just gonna pull up a couple. See, it's already hardening, which is awesome. Obviously, if you want them to go in by themselves so you don't have to push them down, just put them in as soon as you finish piping on the certain cookie. And the same goes with sprinkles and anything else. Ah. And there we go. So yes, they don't look like store-bought cookies, but that's the joy in making your own cookies. They don't have to look perfect. Nobody but you is going to eat them. You do them the way you want to. Don't worry about what anybody else is going to say and say, oh, they're not decorated the way I want. Well, then don't eat them. If people are like that, don't give them cookies. Because, in my opinion, if you're going to complain about a cookie, or I should say the way it's decorated, there's something wrong with you. And that's just a little too hoity-toity, oh, I'm more important than everybody else, give me a really good decorated cookie. And yes, I'm not knocking anybody who loves their decorated cookies, who takes pride in decorating their cookies. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about homemade cookies. Don't go up to somebody and say, oh, I don't like the way that's decorated. Can you make me one that's decorated better? And if you're in somebody's home and they offer you a decorated cookie, eat it. Don't say anything, just say it's good, eat it. I have never had a problem where somebody comes up to me and says, no, it's not very good. I don't want to eat it. It's not decorated the way I want. They get over it. I mean, Christmas is supposed to be about being with your friends, being with your family, spending time together. Not arguing about how your cookie is decorated. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to like and subscribe down below, and I will put a link to the recipe that I used also in the description. And remember, and I will see you next time. See ya. Hey guys, so I thought I'd do a little taste test video. I've got one of my thumbprint cookies here. Obviously I'm going to be biased because I like my cooking anyway, but I will also be putting a video of my sister trying it, and she is a little more picky about her cookies, so let's give this a taste. They need a little bit more cinnamon and ginger, probably. Or even a couple other spices. I just like my cookies to have that really punchy in the face kind of gingerbread taste. And these, unfortunately, don't have them. So if I was to make them again, I'd add a bit more cinnamon and ginger. And I'd probably add in some nutmeg as well. But other than that, they're really good. I mean, they're nothing to get mad at. They're nothing to dislike. They're cooked perfectly. So I did them for about, I want to say almost 20 minutes. Simply because my oven sucks. But 8 to 10 minutes is probably about what it would have been in an oven that keeps its heat. My oven doesn't keep its heat very well. So just make sure you watch. You want that kind of hard texture on the top, but the bottom is still soft. And the middle is still soft. Like, it's not a crumbly cookie, which is, you don't want that for gingerbread. At least in my opinion, you don't. But other than that, they're really good. Thumbs up from me, and I'll see you when my sister does hers. Okay, so this is Brianna trying a vegan gingerbread cookie. Let's see how she likes it. Really, pumpkin?
Can I try it?
It won't hurt them.
Not bad. What's happening, buddy?
Well, you just want to be on camera, pumpkin?
A little nipple?
It shouldn't hurt him. Just don't give him the icing.
Do you like it? It's like, nah, I'm a fish boy.
What, you're not going to eat that?
No, because my cat licked it. He got a dirty mouth. Mmm, scrumptious. No, it's not bad.
Not bad,
Is it
so it gets your seal of approval?
Is the icing vegan too?
Yeah.
What is it?
There's butter.
Ow! That hurt my tooth.
Butter, icing, sugar, and almond milk. How did it hurt your tooth? They're soft in the middle. Oh, the cocoa balls? They should be soft in the middle though, unless that one was hard all the way through.
That hurt.
Don't show your teeth, B. They're brown.